Welcome, y'all.
Granny Kyrstin.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, Granny?
What's up? What's up?
Thank you for doing that for me.
Of course.
I know you did not want to today.
Of course.
You're a little stressed. You've had a long weekend.
You know, it's one of those weekends where you just run. And it's like, fuck, I just want to just not do anything.
And then the next thing you know, you got to go back to work again.
Yes. Yeah.
So
it's been a long one.
I think it's been at least a month since we've seen each other.
Yeah. It's been a long time.
And y'all, we're getting ready to have a Posh Party live. We're about to have another live.
Yes.
So if you're listening, we'll probably already have the live by the time they listen.
We'll talk about the live that we're going to have, but they won't even know.
Anyway, anything new?
Nothing too new.
Feeling good?
Same shit.
I got a crazy story for you today.
I'm excited.
Like you are not
ready.
You're not going to believe the story.
I'm ready.
2006.
Okay.
Pop culture.
Go for it.
Cargo pants were a thing.
Those are coming back.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a cargo person.
I feel like if you wear them right, they make your waist look
smaller. Like they look good on skinnier humans.
Yeah, I guess so. Tie-dye was hot.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of tie-dye.
I like tie-dye.
That's always seems to always be coming back. High School Musical.
Ooh, I remember.
Appeared on the Disney Channel. And the average life expectancy in the United States. Do you want to know how many years?
Yes, tell me.
77.59 years old.
Oh, wow.
I feel like it's a lot older than that now. I should have looked that up.
I think it just depends on how you treat your body.
Ooh, I'm going to die in a couple weeks. Okay.
Same.
All right. I'm going to tell you the unbelievable story of Ryan Waller.
Okay.
Have you heard that name? Nope. Well, hold on to your ass for this one.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. Ryan was born in 1988 in Phoenix, Arizona. He graduated high school. He wanted to play guitar like in a band. Like he wanted to be a rock star.
Big dreams.
Yes. He dated Heather Kwan.
Okay.
They've been dating about 6 months when this story happens.
Okay.
But they lived in they grew up together basically. You know, you got that neighborhood friend from way back. Okay. Heather was born in 1985. She was a little bit older than him. She was attending college and she wanted to go to law school and eventually become a prosecutor.
Ooh, that's awesome.
I know. Ryan and Heather lived together in a rental house and they had a roommate named Allison. Okay. So on the night of December 25th, 2006, that's Christmas.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m., someone broke into Ryan and Heather's house.
Okay.
The intruders popped the latch on the sliding glass door in the back and entered the house.
Okay.
They found Ryan and Heather in the house and shot them.
Oh, God.
The intruders stole electronics, guitars.
Stupid shit.
Well, like, I'm sure since he was a guitar player, like, he probably had some pretty
the high-end stuff.
Yeah. So this was Christmas Day, like I told you. So Ryan is 18 right now and Heather's 21.
Okay.
Christmas Day, Ryan and Heather had planned to go to Ryan's dad's house for dinner, as you do.
Right.
They never showed up.
And that's kind of what triggered.
Yes.
Okay.
Don is Ryan's dad. I'm going to mention Don a lot.
Okay.
Because he was very involved in the documentary that I watched. He said he tried calling Ryan. It wasn't like them to not show up, like something. So I feel like, you know, after dinner, Don was like, okay, we can't reach him. We need to go over to the house.
Right.
And that's when he decided they were going to go check on.
Because, yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. Ryan and Heather, he went to the house, knocked on the door, no response, and he decided to call 911 for a welfare check.
Okay.
The police showed up at Ryan and Heather's house about 4 hours later.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to call this delay number 1.
Wow. Okay.
You will understand what that means as the story goes on.
All right.
When police got to the house, they knocked on the door. Of course, no answer.
Right.
They walked
like, hey, we did that already.
Yeah. Like, bro, we've called them.
We've yelled. We've all of it.
We've done all the things.
Yeah.
They walked around the outside of the house to investigate. One officer looked through a window and he thought he saw a body.
Oof.
Immediately, at that point, the police moved Ryan's family off the scene.
Right.
Like, they're still there, but they're like 100 yards away. Well, they're 100 yards away. You know. Before entering the house, the police decided to get a search warrant.
For what?
That took an hour.
Oh, my Lord.
Delay number 2, as I will call this. And I have to tell you, as a side note, there's something called exigent circumstances.
Yeah.
Now, what that is, if police arrive at a house and someone, I can't talk.
I get where you're going.
If police arrive at the house and someone's unresponsive inside, or they think they're hurt, they have the legal ability to do whatever
kind of
they
like
need
probable
to do.
cause.
Yeah, just to go in and help the person. Okay.
So if you think you see a body, you go in.
Yes.
Not wait for a judge to sign a search warrant.
Don't wait for a search warrant.
Stupid.
And then to further add fuel to the fire, once they got the search warrant, they called out the police locksmith to pick the lock.
What in the fuck?
Break a fucking window. If y'all see me on the floor in the house, Colin, who is camera switching for us.
This is super sus.
Colin, please break a door. All right. So what is that? Delay number 3 now? The locksmith.
Oh, that is baffling to me. Why in the fuck is a police officer calling a fucking locksmith?
He must not have been a very good locksmith because he couldn't get in the front door. So they went around the back of the house, and as they're trying to get in, I guess the kitchen door or whatever, Ryan inside hears them trying to get in. He's still alive.
Oh my God.
And he goes to the door and opens it.
What?
Yes. Now, what are we, like 4 hours in at this point?
Well, more than 4. You're talking about like about 6.
There's 10 police cars on the scene.
Uh-huh.
Ryan's family, like I said, they can see the house, but they don't, well, first of all, they have no idea what's going on.
What's actually happening.
The police are like, we saw a body through the window. They don't know if it's their kid.
Right.
They don't know what. They don't know if someone's hurt. They see the police bringing Ryan out in handcuffs.
What the fuck?
Yes. Puts him in the cop car. Don is trying to get to his kid, which I would be too.
Yeah.
He wants to talk to him. He wants to find out if he's hurt. The cops aggressively stop him. And he's like, I'm at this point, I'm super worried about my son.
Y'all are cuffing my kid. What the fuck's happening?
And the police are just like, your son's fine. He just has a black eye. Yeah. That's what they told him. Mm-hmm. So the lead investigator on the scene, do you know the story?
Mm-hmm.
You do know the story. Mm-hmm. Well, Colin, this one's for you then. The lead investigator on the scene's name is Paul Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
Conveniently, his last name is Dalton. So I will refer to him as Detective Dalton from now on. So he gets eventually, like they put him in the car, but he sits there a while. They eventually get Ryan to the station. And I'm going to just tell everybody right now that you can watch pretty much Ryan's whole interrogation online.
That's what I've watched.
Okay. Immediately you can see when they start asking him questions, he's giving answers that don't make sense.
Yes.
Like, he's just simple, how old are you? I don't know.
Yeah.
Just simple things. What's your girlfriend? I don't, I'm going to show y'all a picture now. So guys who are listening, we're on YouTube if you want to see this picture. These are pictures that they took of him at the police station. Okay. And I'm sorry they're in black and white, y'all. I did my best to get them in color.
Those are good pictures.
Yeah.
Those are good.
I was really trying to find the color picture that showed the wounds up close. And you can hold on to that. But, okay.
Yeah.
Keep in mind the rest of the story. Think of those pictures. Did you see him, Colin? The dude's obviously in bad fucking shape.
Yeah, beat the fuck up.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the type of stuff they asked him. What's the highest grade level you completed?
Mm-hmm.
He says, I don't know. And then Detective Dalton asks him again. And Ryan's like, B. I got a B. Like a letter grade.
Yeah.
Did you graduate high school? Ryan goes, I don't know. The detective said, did you graduate in 8th grade? And Ryan goes, yeah. Like he's clueless.
Yeah.
The detective asked Ryan, what happened to your face? Ryan said, I don't know. What happened at your house tonight? Again, I don't know. Mm-mm. But Detective Dalton thinks that Ryan is just being evasive.
A jackass.
Yeah, he thinks he's trying to cover his ass. Okay. So at some point during the video, Ryan's like, I think Heather hit me in the eye by accident. Remember, Heather's his girlfriend. But he told the police when they're like, who's Heather? She's somebody else's girlfriend. Like, he named another person and said that Heather's that person's girlfriend. He was all over the place. They asked him where he was born. Remember I told you at the beginning, he was born in Phoenix.
Right.
He said he was born in Michigan. That's where his dad was born, not him.
Yeah.
So he's got bits and pieces of memory.
All broken up.
That he's not putting in the right order. Or he can't remember completely anything. To me, when I first started watching it, I could see where maybe, and I'm giving a slight benefit of the doubt here, maybe he was drunk or on some drugs.
Drugs would be my first assumption.
Because even drunk, I think you would like know your girlfriend's name and fucking what's your highest grade, education,
and not respond with B. Like,
I don't know that I would have immediately jumped to he has a head injury or anything like that. So, but I think from showing you the pictures and y'all looking at those pictures, I would have at least sent him for medical attention.
Why didn't they?
That's the problem. Okay.
It makes no sense.
Before interrogating him, I would have sent him to get checked out. I wouldn't have put him in the back of a cop car for however many.
And plus, people who are like even running from the law and they get hurt, they're still checked out by medical before they're cuffed, before they're brought to the jail every time.
I'm going to get to that in another example, which you're not going to believe when you hear it. Okay. So I'm going to tell y'all a medical term here. Aphasia.
Okay.
It's when your brain thinks of a word and your mouth says a different word.
Oh.
It's typically caused by damage to the part of the brain that controls language, which is the left side of the head. And you can see his left eye
is fucked.
Is completely fucked. So as the interrogation goes on, there are times when it seems like Ryan can remember some information. And at one point, Ryan told the police a guy named Richie and his dad, we're talking about Richie's dad, broke into the house. The detective says, who's Richie? And Ryan says, I don't know.
Right.
I mean, y'all got to go watch the video on YouTube.
It's intense.
It's very troubling.
Yes.
Ryan said when they broke into the house, they had a bow and arrow. This is a perfect example of aphasia.
Because he's meaning to say something completely different.
He's probably thinking revolver. Yeah. Because they did have a gun. And he said bow and arrow. And the detective is completely confused.
Which is baffling that your brain can do this. So crazy.
It's such a massive computer. Our brains are such a massive computer.
You don't really think about it until you have to.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ryan's brain's probably thinking revolver, but his mouth is saying bow and arrow. To further confuse the situation, you remember I told you they have a roommate named, what did I say, Alicia or Allison? Something like that. Of course, now I can't remember.
Alyssa.
But
I don't remember.
Anyway, Allison. They had a roommate named Allison, but when Detective Dalton is talking to Ryan, he keeps calling her Alicia or Ashley. Like he's not saying the right name. So that's even more confusing. It's just, it's so
weird.
20 ways of fucked up.
Yeah.
Every way it could have been fucked up. So Ryan, you can kind of see him like getting frustrated because Detective Dalton is asking him the same questions.
Over and over and over again.
And he's like, man, I don't know. I just want to go home and go to sleep.
Right.
That should have triggered some fucking shit right there.
Because you're looking at this guy and he is fucked up.
I mean, at least a concussion. At least a concussion. Yeah. Something.
Yep.
So finally, I guess that was
after hours.
Yes, it was hours. And they had him like in they took his clothes and stuff and put him in some type of, it looked like a little paper jumpsuit, whatever they put you in when they're processing your clothes.
Yeah.
So finally, Detective Dalton realized that Ryan needed medical attention.
Why the fuck did it take you so long?
You're fucking looking at him. They called the fire department.
Okay.
And remember, through all of this, Ryan's family has heard nothing.
Nothing.
They know nothing.
Yeah.
They have no idea what's going on. They don't know Ryan's a suspect in a murder. Right. They don't know he's being
all they know is he's alive and he got arrested.
Yes, that's all they know.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Fire department comes, they assess him, they take him to the hospital. 3 hours later at the hospital is when Don, Ryan's dad, finally gets a call from the hospital saying your son is in critical condition with a bullet in his brain. A bullet in his fucking brain. So, okay. You remember Ryan said something about Richie and Richie's dad.
Right.
So let's talk about these two guys for a second. These two guys are Richie Carver and his dad, Larry Carver. These dudes are bad news. They have sketchy pasts at best. Larry, the dad, was arrested at least 6 times for domestic violence, assault, and assaulting a police officer.
Oh, we got a A1 dumbass on our hands.
Yes. Outside of the 6 times that he was arrested, he's had interactions with the law 12 other times.
Wow.
So for things like assault, theft, misconduct.
Wow.
The list goes on and on.
Yeah.
But Richie is even worse than his dad. He had problems starting in middle school.
Yeah.
Assaults, aggravated robbery, running away from home, making threatening phone calls. Richie committed armed robbery. And let me tell you what he did. There was a guy sitting at a stoplight. He went to the guy, you know, in the car and like told him to give him his wallet and stabbed him in the chest.
What the fuck?
Yes. Took his wallet and his CDs.
Oh, God forbid you left the damn CDs.
I mean, it's 2006.
Right.
You know?
Like gold. Damn. At a stoplight.
Yeah. That was his armed robbery.
That is fucking idiotic.
So he actually went to jail for that.
Okay.
While he's serving time, he caught another charge in jail. Promoting prison contraband.
What?
He had a shank. When he got out of jail, he picked right back up.
Oh, yeah, they usually do.
Where he left. He did not become a preacher as...
It's one or the other.
Yes. Yes.
You either come out with God in your hand or you come out and you end up right back there.
Absolutely. So when he got out, he had problems with the law for criminal damage, domestic violence, assaults.
Wow.
These two guys are just assholes.
Right.
Like, they're... Yeah. Okay. Richie had been out of jail for about 1.5 years.
Okay.
The night he broke into Ryan and Heather's house.
Okay. Now, him and Ryan were friends?
Okay. So let me tell you, the media kind of got this confused.
Okay.
What I'm about to tell you is really the
real
what.
deal.
Yes.
Okay.
Richie was previously living in that rental house.
Okay.
Where Ryan and Heather lived.
No. Okay.
They were not roommates. They were not friends.
Okay.
But after Ryan and Heather moved into the house, Richie did show up at the house a couple of times. One time, he came to see if any mail had been delivered there.
Okay, that's fair.
That's reasonable. Another time, Ryan heard a noise in the backyard. It was nighttime.
Right.
Went outside to see what was going on, and it was Richie in his backyard. Ryan was like,
fucking off back there?
What the fuck are you doing
Right.
here? He probably didn't say fuck. But
right.
I would have.
I would have shot his ass.
You know what Richie tells him? Well, when I lived here, dude, I had a 4-foot iguana that escaped, and they come out at night, so I came back to see if I could find him.
I know you're lying.
I am not.
Oh my God.
I wrote sus.
What the fuck? Just out here looking for my iguana.
Yep. My
What the
4-foot
fuck?
iguana. All right. So that Christmas Day, Richie enlisted his father, Larry, to help him rob the house.
For fun, I'm sure.
I feel like maybe Richie saw them moving in and saw like his guitars and his equipment.
All the stuff that he had.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I told you earlier, when they came to rob the house, they had guns.
Right.
All right. So that's a little bit on those two guys. Right. Let's go back to Ryan in the hospital.
All right.
So Don, of course, when he found out his son was in the hospital, he went over. Mm-hmm. The doctors told him they couldn't operate because he had an infection in his brain. Apparently, if you look at that picture, the bullet went in through Ryan's nose and carried germs from his nose to his brain.
Oh, wow.
And he got an infection. And
quick infection.
I don't know.
I mean, kind of quick, I guess.
Well, I mean,
You've been
our noses are
hours.
disgusting.
Yeah.
And then, of course, how many delays did we have before we went to the hospital? But they couldn't do surgery for 3 days.
Okay.
Because of this infection. They had to give him antibiotics.
Right.
And in the meantime, your brain's swelling and,
Yes.
all the shit.
Just sitting in a cesspool.
Mm-hmm. So, let me tell you what else happened to Ryan.
All right.
You know he had a bullet in his brain. 6 pieces of his eye socket were in his brain.
Oh, wow.
He had a fractured skull.
Mm-hmm.
He had a broken jaw.
Oh, wow.
The doctor told his dad the broken jaw was not from the gunshot. From reading the police reports, it appears that Ryan got the broken jaw when the police took him down. When he heard them trying to pick the lock,
they jumped him.
Yeah,
Holy
completely.
shit.
And put this, I don't know the special name, this hold or something where you press in the jaw or whatever, but like broke his jaw.
Oh my God.
Taking him down. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Like this, I feel bad because I feel like every fucking terrible thing that could have happened.
Yeah.
Like, Ryan was in the hospital for more than 30 days.
Oh, wow.
And the hospital want to get you out fast.
Yeah. You don't want to be in there for a long time either.
Mm-mm. No police officers or detectives during that 30-day period.
Not a one.
Came to ask any questions. Yep. Came to ask about Richie, whoever that was that you mentioned in the interrogation. Nothing.
Damn.
Ryan had gotten home for 3 days before anybody came to the house to ask him questions. And they did not send Detective Dalton.
I bet not.
To ask him questions.
I bet the fuck they didn't.
He's on administrative leave. No.
Right.
So get this, okay? So 30 days in the hospital.
Right.
3 days after they come and question, once he's been home.
Right.
Within 4 days, they had captured Richie.
I bet.
How the fuck did you not, at least some point,
look into that?
In the hospital, I'm sure he was conscious. As some, like, they're not going to, you're just not going to wake up from all of this and go home the very next day. You're going to have some
He's been there.
You're going to have some rehabilitation. Right. Why didn't y'all come and ask any questions?
That would have been a safe and controlled environment for them to do that.
Just, so, can you imagine being Ryan's family?
Yeah, I'd be livid.
Yeah. Okay, so Richie was arrested 4 days later, and then like a week after that, Larry was arrested.
Okay.
And I wrote, fuck me with this shit.
Right.
So you referenced this earlier.
Yes.
When Larry, the dad, was arrested, he ran.
I bet he did.
They sent a police dog after him. The police dog caught him. He had injuries. They immediately took him to the hospital. So you're a fucking criminal, and
you get better treatment.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
Even if Ryan was a murder suspect, he should have been taken
100%
to the hospital. Why didn't they do that
to begin with?
For Ryan,
for somebody who really fucking needed it.
Yeah.
Like, that was detrimental to his fucking life.
I mean, if you haven't figured out by now, Heather did die.
Right.
And I don't want to just cast aside the fact that someone lost their life. That's not what I'm trying to do. But it's so fucked up on so many levels that they did not take care of this poor guy. I mean, he's a kid. He's 18 years old. And they didn't. Anyway. Eventually.
I mean, you can't blame him because he's the one that lived. But you can't excuse the fact that a life was lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, eventually Richie and Larry both got convicted and got life without parole.
Good.
There was a lot of hoopla with that, and I'm not even going.
Do we know what their conviction was?
I'm sure it was probably first-degree murder, but I didn't. I don't know why I didn't.
Against her, but then did they give extra charges for?
I don't know, but the whole overall was life without parole.
Gotcha.
So, and at Phoenix, Arizona, I don't know. Maybe Phoenix didn't have the death penalty.
Right.
I don't know. In 2000.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it could have been.
Okay, I had a little sip of swear jar. What are you drinking?
Loaded tea and vodka.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. What is happening at this point in the story? The police are scrambling to cover their ass.
I bet so.
Remember, I told you this happened on December 25th. When the coroner did the autopsy on Heather, they said she died on December 25th.
Okay.
The police now are saying Ryan was shot on December 23rd.
What?
2 days earlier. And her too.
No.
They changed the timeline so that it looked like Ryan had had all this time before the police even got there, that he was suffering with these injuries. So I showed y'all the pictures. Now, the color ones and the ones you'll see online. Now, these were taken at the police station. I don't know how to describe that. Like, these aren't 2-day-old wounds.
No.
They're fresh.
Swollen.
They're moist.
Yeah.
They're not scabbing.
Yeah. He'd have dried blood everywhere.
It would, yeah.
Like, it would be bad.
Yeah. It's like, you can look in the nose wound and see, like, fresh skin matter.
His brain would have probably swelled so much that he wouldn't have, he would have died. 2 days.
Yeah. They're saying the 23rd.
There's no way.
Police are sticking to that shit.
There's no way.
And I don't even know if I have it in here, but the medical examiner went back and changed Heather's autopsy.
They did?
Yes, to
Holy
the 23rd
shit.
too. But on Heather's tombstone, it says December 25th.
Yeah.
That's what they put. So, okay, Ryan's still alive.
Right.
Ryan and Don sued the city of Phoenix and the police department.
Good.
For delaying Ryan's treatment for a gunshot wound to the head.
Right.
The police refused to take responsibility.
Yeah.
Detective Dalton gave a statement that was complete lies.
Yeah.
He said he noticed the injuries to Ryan's eye and didn't feel that it needed medical attention.
That's not for you to say, are you a fucking doctor?
No shit. But when you watch the interrogation video, someone who's in that interrogation room that's off camera that you can't see, you can hear them say, "You look bad. You need to go to the doctor."
Yeah.
And Ryan goes, "I do. Is it bad?"
Yeah.
Like he's like just
Fucked
fucking
up.
yeah. Also on the video when the fire department came in, because Detective Dalton said something like, "Well, the fire department they took him to the hospital, but they didn't, say anything like he was in critical condition or anything." When the fire department came in, you could hear on the video and see them saying, Ryan's like, "Where are you taking me?" And he goes, "We're taking you to the hospital because you've been shot in the face."
Yeah.
Shot in the fucking face.
Yeah.
So Detective Paul Dalton has some questionable things in his background. Y'all, there's more shit on this guy.
Oh, wow.
I could do probably another whole podcast.
Right.
If you're interested. Detective Paul Dalton, Phoenix Police. He's anyway. He's just a piece of shit.
We're not here to bash the police in any way, shape, or form.
No, but this guy fucked up.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
So this is the terrible part. I mean, all of the things I've told you is terrible.
Right.
And I think Ryan and Don suing the city and the police were valid.
Yes.
But the lawsuit got dropped by a judge.
Oh, wow. That's very surprising.
Because they brought in a doctor, the city and the police, that said the 6-hour delay that the police...
Didn't make a fucking difference.
Yeah, it said it would not have made a difference in Ryan's injury. So a judge threw the case out. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So Ryan's dad, I don't have this in my story, but they had paid a retainer for an out-of-state doctor to come.
Right.
And he was going to testify that,
there ain't no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because the judge threw it out, it didn't even go to trial. It didn't even go to trial.
Wow.
After Ryan got out of the hospital, he moved in with his dad. And he dealt with the aftermath of his injuries. His dad said it was kind of like an Alzheimer's patient. Yeah. Like he would tell the same stories over and over. But I do that. Like I'm old. I tell the same stories over. Anyway, he's asked the same questions.
I just always say, "Did I tell you that already?"
I say that too, but then I still tell the story.
Yeah, me too.
Like even if they say yes, Colin's like, "Yep, yeah." He's shaking his head.
Yeah.
So he had horrific seizures.
Damn it.
One time he had a seizure, bit off part of his tongue.
Oh.
One time he had a seizure, broke his nose.
Oh, good.
One time he broke his ankle while he had a seizure.
Wow.
Another time he was like in the grocery store or something and had a seizure and hit his head over and over on the concrete floor and had to have 40 stitches.
Holy shit.
Like just terrible seizures. Well, unfortunately, on January 20th, 2016, so this 10 years later, Ryan had a horrible seizure and he passed away from the seizure. He was 27 years old when he died.
Wow.
Yeah. His family still wishes that the city of Phoenix and the Phoenix Police Department would take responsibility.
You're like, hey, yeah, we fucked up.
Yeah. And I tried to find where, all I could really find was Detective Dalton has retired. But
That's probably a forced retirement.
Yeah, I was going to say, but I also feel like he's been on some true crime shows talking about maybe cases. I feel like I don't want to say he hasn't been punished, but he's still living his best life, probably, The good thing is in 2021, so that's a long time later.
Right.
The Department of Justice is investigating the Phoenix Police Department and the city of Phoenix.
Good.
Yes. Ryan was treated like he was guilty.
Yes.
From the get-go. Even when they realized he was a victim, they still didn't treat him right. They didn't go talk to him at the hospital. Police were more concerned about covering up their mistakes.
It's simple
after
stuff.
The fact.
Like, it's simple shit that they could have just followed the protocol.
It's very simple, but the problem that I have with this part of, I'm glad they're being investigated, but in 2023, it was 2 years and they're still investigating.
Yeah.
So it's like, when is this going to ever fucking end?
Yeah, what's going to happen for real?
Because, I feel like if the Department of Justice found some kind of negligence on the part of the police department, that maybe Ryan's family could still go back and, make some type of claim.
Yeah.
They could have appealed when the judge threw it out. But if they had lost, they would have had to pay the attorney's fees for the city. So the odds
they
are
were
stacked,
fucked regardless.
Yeah, the odds were stacked against them, no matter what.
Damn. The case was done in that same area.
What you mean? The suing?
Yeah, like the judges within that.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, that's all.
Oh yeah.
Pockets.
Oh yes.
Okay, so if y'all want to watch the documentary I watched. And there's a couple
of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. But the one I watched didn't have the whole interrogation, but you can see that online.
That's what I watched, the whole interrogation.
The YouTube channel is called This Is Monsters. And it's called Searching for Justice, the Ryan Waller Story.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah. I told you I had a crazy one for you.
Yeah.
But you've seen the video.
I've only seen the interrogation. I didn't know all the bits and pieces of what happened and all of that.
Well, I'm glad I was able to give you that information.
That's wild.
But can you not say from seeing the video?
They were fucking him. Literally.
It was
beating hands on the table.
Terrible.
It was too much.
And you could tell there was something was wrong.
He was like almost laid over the whole time.
Yeah, he's
like almost resting his body on the table. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just hammering him.
I had never heard the story, and when I started digging into it, I was just like...
You got geeked out.
Oh, I was like, what the hell? Okay, do you want some crazy laws?
Sure.
So we finished our whole list before, but I found a few other weird rando things.
Okay.
This is from the lawyerportal.com.
The lawyer portal. What you got?
This is the title of this one. No long haul sailing in Georgia. The Peach State has a relatively recent law established in 1992 to stop anyone from living on a boat for more than 30 days.
What?
The rule was intended to combat the existence of rundown housing on the Altamaha River. That's probably not the way you say it.
Yeah, probably not.
Presumably deeming it an eyesore for tourism or an environmental hazard. That's not really funny.
No.
But they're like, if you're...
They don't want to float in trailer park.
Yeah, they don't want to float into perfect. That's perfect. Okay. Horse racing, not in Indiana.
At all?
The state of Indiana has a law limiting horse-based travel across the state lines to 10 miles per hour.
Oh, wow. Super slow.
The law was passed in 1975 and essentially, who's even fucking riding horses?
They were trying to catch them speeding horses.
Oh my God. And essentially puts horses on par with a motor vehicle. The reasons for enacting the rule are not entirely clear.
Right.
But many have cited a public nuisance relating to horse racing in the area preceding the law's introduction. Okay. I don't know.
Fuck?
I don't know. This is the last one I'm going to do. This one's called I Do ×3.
No.
Marriages in Kentucky. I feel like we had this on the other one, but let's go. Here we go. Kentucky's legislators have seemingly imposed a limit on love itself. No woman can marry the same man more than 3 times.
Jesus, Lord have mercy.
You've heard of that though, right?
If you had to go back and marry this man once and then you unmarried him, don't fucking go back and marry his ass again.
And then do it again. Okay.
Like, y'all just be together, but don't be married. Fuck.
There's a thing called common law.
Yeah.
You don't even have to go through the ceremony. Marriage is a complex area of law when it comes to bizarre rules across the U.S. In fact, in Delaware, you can annul your marriage based on the fact that it was the subject of a jest or dare.
What?
If somebody dares you in Delaware,
I dare you to marry him.
Get that fucking shit annulled.
Yep.
In Utah,
dude, you could just not have to pay anything for a divorce and just say, well, I was dared 10 years ago.
That's
They dared me and now I'm over it.
I was just jesting.
Yes.
I was just jesting.
Yes.
In Utah, first cousins may marry
Ew.
after the age of 65. They don't want them procreate.
What?
They don't want them having any kids. You're 65.
Wow.
You're definitely out of menopause.
Now y'all can do it.
You're definitely out of menopause.
That's wild.
And then lastly, about the marriages, in a number of U.S. states, including California, Colorado, and Texas, it's possible to marry by proxy. In other words, with only one of the pair attending in person.
What the fuck?
Yes. This is another one with interesting historical context as it was introduced with the U.S. Army soldiers abroad. Yeah.
Really?
You like, bro, can you stand in for me?
Right.
Marry
like
my bitch.
Fuck.
What the shit? All right. So that's that.
Yeah, marry my bitch. Just don't slip her the tongue.
Yeah. When they say kiss, you may now kiss the bride, just turn the cheek. And
yeah.
All right. That's it.
That's wild.
How'd you like that story?
That was good. That was very in-depth of all the things.
Colin, show that picture again, Kyrstin, to the camera. I like your nails.
Thank you.
He was fucked up.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
He was fucked up. And the fact that they have somebody who is dead in the house, and they get this guy. One, if he killed this girl, like, don't you think he would have left? Even if she beat his ass, don't you think he would have left?
You would think.
If he was involved in it any way, shape, or form, he would have been hurting enough to have to go to the fucking hospital.
Yeah. If he was conscious enough.
Yeah.
He would have taken himself to the hospital.
Or answered the phone or something.
Yes. Dad, come get me.
Yes.
Yes. Something.
So for them to immediately jump on, oh, he's a fucking suspect. Why?
And break his jaw.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
Why would he do that? You'd have to be really fucking stupid to kill somebody and just chill out in there
for hours.
Yeah. I mean, there's common sense says he didn't fucking do this shit.
Well, also think about the number of people that called, the number of people that knocked, the number of people that surrounded the house, 10 police cars, picking the lock on the front door. And then finally, somehow he gets aroused, like awake enough. I don't want to say aroused. That's the wrong word.
Don't add arousal to this story.
He gets awake enough to hear them picking the back door. Like, did somebody at some point go, why didn't he answer before now? Like, maybe we could,
you know what I mean? Like,
we could beat this fucking 10 mile an hour horse to death.
It's just that.
Okay.
I'm appalled and I'm very disappointed that it was dismissed as a lawsuit. Because I think that's baffling to me.
I agree too. Okay, guys.
All right.
If you like that, and you want to help support the show, I don't have my phone, but we have 2 new Patreon members this week. Chris and Mike, I think. I might have to correct that on the next episode, but we appreciate y'all.
Thank you
so much. And if you'd like to help support the show, you can go to Patreon, Patreon/grits, and help support the show. Please go to our Facebook page and like us. And then we have a fan page where you can actually post things there and interact. Please go there. That's the Grits Group. Family, friends, and fans. We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok. Follow us on everything. Did I miss anything?
Nope. I think you got it.
I thank you for being here.
Of course.
Colin, I thank you for camera switching.
Thank you.
I will say happy birthday to Dalton.
Happy birthday, Dalton.
Tell your mom and him to listen. And we got to let Zydeco Mike take us out.
Bye.